I want y'all to imagine something. Imagine starting your first day of work for a billionaire music and business mogul. And on your very first day of work, he takes you to Central Park in New York City and threatens your life. That was what Capricorn Clark testified to against Diddy. So I don't know how much of this Diddy trial you guys have been paying attention to, or if you saw Capricorn Clark's recent testimony, but what? Okay, so her testimony ranges from verbal abuse, physical abuse, uh, coercion, kidnapping, threats, workplace violence, workplace intimidation, workplace exploitation, just everything you could think of happened to Capricorn Clark from 2004, when this first incident that I described in the beginning of the video took place, where in which Diddy took her to Central Park and threatened her life, to 2020. Now, the reason why he took her to Central Park and threatened her life is because she had worked for Suge Knight. Suge Knight was a infamous uh, record label executive and CEO of Death Row Records. So if you know anything about that, you know what's understood. No need to explain. You know what I'm saying? So she used to work for him. And not only that, but her best friend is actually Suge Knight's baby mama. So there's that. So Diddy found this out and he took her to Central Park with another security guard and they threatened her because she used to work for Suge Knight. And she said she continued to work for Diddy after that because she felt like she could have been more forthright with that information. You know, like it was probably on her. That's what she said, right? So that was just one of the incidents. Okay. She continues to work for Diddy after the fact. Not only that, but she testified and she corroborated Kid Cudi's story that her, another security guard, and Diddy actually went to Kid Cudi's house to pew pew him. Because Diddy showed up to Capricorn Clark's house with a gun and she felt threatened and intimidated, even though it wasn't clear. I don't think he ever pointed the gun at her, but it was the fact that he had a gun on him the whole time. So it was intimidating, it was threatening, and he made her go to Kid Cudi's house. She said she didn't want to. She told him she didn't want to do it. He said, I don't give a F what you want. This is what we're going to do. They end up going. So she corroborates that part of Kid Cudi's story that they went to his house and allegedly, supposedly, broke into his house, possibly did something to the dog. I don't even know, but the dog was terrified and just discombobulated after the fact. So that was one thing that happened, right? There was another incident in 2006 in which Diddy actually shoved her. He actually put hands on Capricorn Clark over something that she had said, supposedly. And I guess the chef told Diddy what she had said, and Diddy didn't like it, so he actually put hands on her. In addition to that, there was another incident, and this is another crazy story in addition to the Central Park one, right? So Diddy had given her some jewelry to hold on to. I guess it was some jewelry that was on loan from Jacob the jeweler. And I guess the jewelry somehow went missing. So she contacted Diddy to let him know, hey, your jewelry is gone. When she did that, I guess he made her take a polygraph test for 5 consecutive days because she kept, it was too inconclusive. The results were inconclusive. She was too nervous because the guy that was conducting the test in an abandoned building that they took her to, which was, I guess, now the new headquarters of Bad Boy, but she didn't know that at the time. They took her to this abandoned building on the 6th floor where there was like barely anything in it, no furniture, nothing, maybe just a chair and a desk. And they made her take a polygraph test for 5 consecutive days until she passed it, all over this jewelry. And if she didn't pass it, the man that was conducting the polygraph, told her that they would throw her in the East River. What? So Capricorn Clark was another assistant for Diddy, and she detailed working very long hours, sometimes 23, 24, 25 hours a day type situations. And it got so bad that she actually went to HR, and HR calculated her overtime for like a course of like 3 months, I believe. And she was owed $80,000 in overtime pay. When she told Diddy this and brought him the paperwork that I guess HR had printed out for her that showed that she was owed this money, he ripped it up in her face So there's actually so much to get into in regards to Capricorn Clark's story. Um, and that means all of her stories. You know, like I could literally do a video on each event that she went through regarding Diddy. But overall, I felt like she was a very credible witness. I guess she was doing a lot of crying the whole time. Like her testimony was very emotional. You know, understandable, very understandable. But like every single picture that they've like the court artist drew of her is her making that face. Like so, she was crying basically the whole time. Like I don't think there's one regular picture of her. And by the way, just a little side note, I don't know who the court illustrator is or the court artist or whatever you call them, but if that was me, if that was me that they drew looking like that with the face like that, in every single photo, you should see the photos that this person drew. We'd have a serious talk. We would have to see each other after the proceedings because there ain't no way you gonna draw me like that and think. I digress. Okay, but back to the facts, right? What she had to say, I think, was the very beginning of the prosecution actually proving some of what Diddy's being accused of in regards to racketeering and even possibly trafficking. You know, most definitely the racketeering, because in racketeering, there's, you know, some predicate offenses or predicate crimes that have to be committed and proved in order for that racketeering charge, you know, to stick. And one of those is arson, and another one is kidnapping. And she detailed both of those instances. And even when she testified, she's flat out said, I was kidnapped. I was taken against my will in that Kid Cudi case, and possibly even the polygraph. But she admitted that she really wanted to pass the polygraph test because she really wanted to prove her innocence. And that's another point that I wanted to make. You know, she had said herself that she had an autistic son or has an autistic son, and she needed to make sure the stakes were higher for her, and she needed to make sure she brought home the bag. So this is my only issue with this kind of line of reasoning. Um, like, why don't you just get a regular job? Like, just get another job. You don't have to work in the music industry. She was only making 55,000 to 65,000, I think, a year, which is a crime itself because another assistant was getting paid 125,000. So one thing that I'm noticing about most, if not all, of everyone's testimonies is that number one, they were all afraid of what Diddy might do, and number two, they were all afraid of losing the bag, of losing that lifestyle that they got used to. Because in a lot of these cases, Diddy, like in Capricorn Clark's case, Diddy was paying for her apartment or her wherever she was living at the time. He was paying her car note, like all her bills and stuff, and the same with Cassie as well. So none of what happened to these women is okay. I don't care if Cassie was at one point into the freak offs and she was just that way, and you know she was consent. It was consensual, and that's what she wanted at first, and then she didn't want it. Like it, it doesn't matter that she was into it at first. It's still not okay for her to be abused. That's never okay, and it's not okay for workplace exploitation, workplace violence, for you to treat employees like this. Diddy's crazy. I don't think I have to say that, but sometimes I guess I have to say that because, you know, people need to hear those words. Of course, Diddy's scum. Diddy's scum. But up until Capricorn Clark's testimony, I don't think they had proved anything other than him being an abusive boyfriend and just being a POS. But now, hmm, now it's not looking great. It's not looking great. So leave me your thoughts in the comments section. Tell me what you guys think of this whole Capricorn Clark situation. Was there anything that I missed? If I missed anything or if I misstated or misquoted anything, please correct me in the comment section. Be nice. Be nice, but correct me in the comment section. I'm freestyling this video, so there's a lot that I'm leaving out, and there's a lot that I could have misstated. So let me know. Love, peace, and light, folks. Remember, love more than you hate, please. And I'll catch you on the next one. All right. I'm out.